Just outside the Midlands market town of Ashbourne, the Anderson-Dixon family are settling down for breakfast.
So let's give Daddy some toast. Thank you. Give Bobby your teddy. Camels? You can see camels?
Yeah.
Where?
But for 34-year-old Nathan and his wife Charlotte, breakfast wouldn't be the same without Joe, their 8-foot, 2-ton Bactrian camel.
I suppose to most people this would be a bit unusual really, but to us it's perfectly normal. It's my food. I want it. You have to be careful what he eats because he's not allowed to eat certain things. But he's quite partial to Marmite on toast.
He's not very patient.
No.
Bactrian camels have 2 humps compared to the single-humped dromedary. Both use them to store fat for when food is not available. But filling those humps comes with a price tag. Joe gets through around 60 bales of hay a month, costing Nathan £65.
He turns up whenever he wants.
If the window's open.
He eats us out of house and home, and then he leaves. He doesn't say thank you. He occasionally burps. I suppose he's a bit like a teenager, really, isn't he?
We tend to get covered in food.
Hello. Hello.
Camels are classed as dangerous wild animals, a classification that requires a licence granted by your local council.
To have them so close in your own sort of environment is pretty unusual, really. But we know his limitations. We know that he's safe at a distance. We wouldn't invite him sort of in the house. He'd probably make a bit more of a mess as well, wouldn't he, really, if we let him in the house. So we just let him pop his head through the window, and that's about it for now, anyway. You love the camels, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And becoming one of only 7 private camel keepers in Britain was a big lifestyle change.
Camels! Come on! Camels! We used to have a business that was completely different to this, property business and estate agency. We sold that business in 2007. We decided to take a bit of time out, didn't we, and start a family. And then in the meantime, we got a bit bored and we wanted to do something completely different.
And when Nathan says different, he means it. Nathan and Charlotte now run an animal entertainment business and rent out their camels for events.
Well, these camels actually originate from Russia. They're bred in a farm over there. We met the dealer in Bulgaria, and then we imported them into the UK. They've got Russian passports. I don't know whether they speak Russian, but they understand English. They understand the sound of a bucket when it's shaking, when it's got food in it.
And if you're planning to pick up 4 camels from Eastern Europe, expect to pay around £60,000. Oh, and you might want to inform your other half.
I wasn't expecting the camels. Christmas Eve, I think I found out we were getting camels.
To be fair, I told you on Christmas Eve. We had Christmas Day together, and then I left on Boxing Day.
Boxing Day about 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And 10
then
days later,
yeah.
we had these arrive.
Yeah. And you were a bit annoyed at the time, but then I remember that when I brought them back, you really liked them, didn't you? So you fell in love with them, and now you love them, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I do. It was just a bit of a shock to start off with because camels aren't your average animal to appear on a farm.
No. Come on!
And now their 4 camels have turned into 5.
You've got Joe, who's Daddy. You've got Mummy, that's Amelia. And then you've got baby camel, which is...
Isa, baby Isa. Little girl. The gestation period is about 14 months, so we had Joe castrated just after he served Amelia.
And her mates.
And her friend, yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think there's possibly another one on the way.
Mm.
But,
that's why they're not talking to each other anymore. Sorry. Good girl.
Oh. They're almost kissing. I don't know if you can hear, but they're sort of singing at the minute. They make this real sweet little cry when they talk to each other.
I think they've got a really special bond now that they've had a calf together as well. He does love Amelia, but he also loves Jemima and Sophia as well. But I think at the moment she's his favourite. Plus they've got, a calf together. So, you know, he's in for 18 years basically, at least.